Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto, and welcome to this middle of the day market update. We're back. I'm happy to see you all, and welcome to this new video. We're going to be talking about what's going on over the course of today. Obviously, in 2 days, we have the FOMC interest rate decision, as most of you know, but you should be prepared for it, okay? And just over an hour ago, the US market has opened, which I've been talking about yesterday, but also today, about that matters a lot. So far, we've only had volatility, no major breakthrough, no major reclaim or breakdown yet. So the big moves have yet to come. But we'll talk about that. I'll talk about what I think is most likely. I'll talk about Bitcoin. I'll talk a bit about XRP. And then I'll talk about some altcoins. Although altcoins at this point of time are a bit tricky to talk about. The BNB narrative is still pulling quite a lot of volume and quite a lot of leverage, as you can see right here as well. But I have some doubts about the sustainability of that narrative. But we'll talk about that later. First of all, most important, how has the stock market opened? Luckily, relatively positive. All right, you can see right here that the S&P 500 has been bullish since the opening here. We've had 2 candles. It's been open for an hour, so there's not much we can say about this. But ultimately, this is good. And we're nearing the level right here around 567 that I think we need to reclaim. We need to break above to really solidify a bottom. For now, it's still a little bit uncertain. All right, we could still reject from this level and drop down lower, and that Bitcoin follows suit and drop down into 80,000. So in short, and that's also my main message, a real direction has not been confirmed yet. We had some economic data from the US. We had retail sales that came in lower than expected. So that's pushing the dollar strength index down, and that's pulling the stock market up. So we're seeing some strength coming from there, but so far that hasn't really translated to Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin has been able to hold its own here. But if you take a look at the Coinbase Bitcoin price, you can see it's still at a discount, and there's not much going on. There's not much specific bidding coming into crypto or coming into Bitcoin. All right, so therefore, if you combine that as well with the sensitivity still of the market to news, and I do expect some news, and we have more tariffs coming, obviously the 2nd of April. Due to that, I mean, my thoughts on Bitcoin are still very mixed. You can see that the volatility index, by the way, is dropping down nicely, so that should mean that we're going to be a little bit less volatile, and that should also be at least one confirmation that we can bottom out with the traditional financial markets. But for Bitcoin, even though I still think fundamentally it's most likely that the stock market will recover sooner rather than later, and that therefore Bitcoin can follow suit once we move up, I still think this. All right, I've been saying this for the last couple of days that I think, talking about the main level we're at between 84,000 and 82,000, I think it's most likely we're going to get the bullish breakout. But I'm not trading Bitcoin right now, all right? And I'm not trading anything right now that's correlated to Bitcoin because the real truth, and I hate to say that because I would much rather tell you, no, it looks likely that this is going to happen. We're going to get the bullish breakout. After that, this is the main price target. It's just very uncertain right now, right? Comparatively, or compared to other times in the market, it's more unpredictable than ever, I'd say, and very dependent on outside factors. So therefore, given my thoughts on the current situation with the tariffs and the fundamentals and geopoliticals, I would argue this is most likely. But the main level to watch is still 84,500, and as long as we haven't broken above that, we have no technical confirmation for this happening, and we could also still fall down. Unfortunately, that's the truth. Now, XRP looks a little bit more, talking about XRP here real quick, XRP still looks a bit stronger. It's holding its own fairly well, and even if Bitcoin falls down here, I think for XRP it doesn't change that much. All right, short term that might mean that we'll drop down towards 2.15. But ultimately, I think XRP will remain relatively stable, and I think it's a matter of time before we get new bullish momentum up to the highs at 2.65 and 2.75. So XRP is holding on fairly well. Might actually be one of the best altcoins to hold right now. Now, before we talk about altcoins, quickly wanted to do a shout out to our own Signal group. If you don't know, I have my own Signal group. It's very much focused around education, but basically what I do is I send my own trades as signals in there. Those are profitable. You can actually still make a profit in these markets. So if you're interested in that, consider joining, but it's also very, very much focused on education, all right? And I don't think there are many groups out there like that, where me and Thomas, the other trader, actually try to make you better traders as well, and to try to make you profitable. So if you're interested in that, if you think that's something you'd like to get into, consider joining. There's links down in the description, and you can go to cilinix.com as well. But that's it. Let's talk about altcoins. All right. So altcoins, like I said, I mean, Cake and BNB specifically, but BNX as well, are still very bullish right here. But BNB itself actually hasn't broken out yet. So that's definitely a narrative to watch, right? So then we're talking about BNB, the Binance coin right here, which is trying to break out. Cake is very, very bullish, and BNX is also quite bullish, but definitely a narrative to keep your eyes on. But they have already rallied a lot, and there are some doubts, at least coming from me, about the sustainability of the narrative and about the catalyst that's pushing the price up. And outside of that, I have to be critical. There's not much, all right? As you can see, most of these coins right here are not really special coins in terms of the volume and why they're here. And when we're talking about coins that are rallying right now, yeah, the new Binance listings are doing quite well, so that could be interesting. But outside of that, most of the market is looking at Bitcoin, all right, and is waiting for that breakout, as we are as well. And until then, there will be these moves of uncorrelated assets, but the majority of the market will just continue following Bitcoin, as you can see right here as well. So that's it. That's what I think you need to know for right now. I'll try to keep you updated as well as I can over the course of today as well. But that's it. So thank you for watching. Take care and bye.